Yo, what's up, everybody? We're here with something a little different today. We're doing a Dominaria flashback draft on Magic Arena until the 8th, I think, April 8th. So we're going to dive in. I'm going to try my best to talk about all the cards because I know there's going to be quite a few people who probably have not seen a Dominaria draft before. So let's get into it. First off, our rare is pretty decent. Benosh Marshall is a solid card, as you can see, just like, it's very funny looking at this card because it's like indicative of Dominaria compared to formats that are current, because it's like very simple line of text, not a lot of text. You look at the rest of this pack, vanilla creatures. The cards are very simplistic. This one's pretty good though. I don't think it's the one I'm going to take. I'm actually going to take Fire Fist Adept over here, but it's worth talking about. A lot of pretty good white cards in this pack. The Marshall's pretty good. Quende, giving your first strike creatures double strike. Pegasus Courser jumps things in the air. Nothing else is too exciting, but Fire Fist Adept's the card I'm going to be taking. Kind of like a twin shot sniper, I guess you could make the comparison. Wizards is one of the best archetypes. In fact, I think it's probably just the best archetype in the format, so really happy to start with a payoff card for that. Let's see what else is in this pack. So we've got Kamal's Druidic Vow, which is this legendary sorcery. There's all these legendary sorceries that you need a legend on the battlefield on your side to be able to cast them. This one is not a particularly good one. Some of them are, but we don't have to look at this one. There is Shauna, which is a okay card. Green-white is not one of the better archetypes, so gonna shy away from that one. Mace Unicorn is a pretty good card, just 2/2 lifelink, and Skittering Surveyor is actually gonna be the card I take here. So this is the glue card for this entire set. This is one of your better first picks or early picks. Not only is it just a good card, 3 mana 1/2 goes and gets a land, but it does a lot of small things. So number one, this is a format that you often want to splash in. There's a lot of powerful cards, and you're kind of hurting for some powerful cards a lot of the time. There's not that many floating around. And the problem is, there's not that many good ways to fix. There's these lands at rare, there's Skittering Surveyor and a few other things, but this is one of the few good ways to pick up fixing. Also, there's Kicker in this set, which makes you want a lot of lands once you get to 6, 7, 8 lands. And there's also a historic theme, as you can see on the trapper here. And historic cards are artifacts, sagas, and legends. Yeah, okay. I think I actually just covered all the mechanics right there. Very, like I said, very down-to-earth, simple set, to be honest. We're going to take Shivan Fire here as a good removal spell. 1 mana, deal 2, kicker, deal 4 instead. Can't go to the face, but still a good deal. There's also an Urgros, which is pretty good. Dominaria was kind of, it's funny, a lot of people at the time really loved Dominaria because it was the first set to have uncommon legends, or I guess first since the original Kamigawa. But here's one, this one's pretty good. It's a big flying thing that when it hits them, they discard a card, or you draw a card. Vicious Offering, also a pretty good removal spell, but we're happy just to follow up our Adept with a red card. Here, in this pack, there's not much going on. So, there's a Jorah's Familiar, which is a okay card, not amazing. Just like a fine card if you've got enough historic cards in your deck. There is Mesa Unicorn, which I was pointing out before. Kind of funny. So, I draft Dominaria a little bit different than most people. I know a lot of people like to draft it like slow value, getting to turn 20, 30. But I actually like to draft it a little more aggressively. Like I like the mono red decks. I like red white, which at the time, when this set first came out, red white was a deck that a lot of people were like, you should never draft that, which I never found that to be true. I thought the red aggressive decks, especially like blue red and red white, were pretty good. So I'm actually just going to take that here. There's also Navigator's Compass in this pack, which is a funny one. This is a fixing tool. Not a very good one, but it is a fixing tool if you really, really are desperate. All right, now we get to a pack. We're just going to take the Journey Mage here. Journey Mage is one of the better commons. Oh, also, I should say, if you're learning this format, blue is by far the best color. It just has so many good commons in the set. There's not a lot of really good commons in the set. A lot of the power tends to lie at rare and uncommon. Blue is the exception. Blue is super deep. There's 8 commons I want to play in blue. Journey Mage being one of the better ones. So we'll take this here. Plays well with our Adept. It's essentially, a Moonsnare Specialist Manowar type card, so we'll grab that here. Okay, so this one's interesting. There's Flame of Keld, which is not a very good saga. Discard your hand, draw 2, and then your red spells do something more damage. Your red sources, I should say. Unlike Kamigawa, not all the sagas are good, and I'd say about half of them are bad. So what do we take instead? There's Call of Cavalry, which is pretty good. Oath at Home. Imperial Oath at Home. There's also Opt, which is a pretty good card because you do want spells in your Wizard's deck. There's lots of cards that care about casting cheap spells. Opt is also really good in this format because often what happens is your deck ends up being like 4, 5, 6 really, really good cards and then some kind of medium cards. And Opt just helps you find those, tippity-top good cards. So I'm actually going to take it there. All right, Journey Mage, Really solid card. I like this card quite a bit. One of the really underrated cards, I think, in the format. I remember when this format first came out, people were like pretty down on this, but getting a bunch of these, especially when you've got, 2 cards here that really want you to have early wizards. If you get a bunch of these Journey Mages, they can deal a bunch of incidental damage and really put the beatings on the opponent. There's also a Howling Golem, which is a fine card. Looks kind of weird. Whenever attacks or blocked, each player draws a card. But if you've got enough like tempo plays like this, you kind of break the symmetry where you're both drawing a bunch of cards, but if you're bouncing your opponent's cards each turn or whatever, it doesn't really matter. They can't land something. They can't stick something. So let's see if we can just get a good Wizards deck. That is ideal here. Again, if I want to, or if I have to, I'll move into like a red-white deck, but we'll just see where we go. All right, so now we get to this pack. There's a Bloodstone Goblin, which is totally fine. It's pretty good with the Shivan Fire. It's good with anything that needs to, doesn't have an additional actual mana cost to kick. Like, sometimes there's kicker of sacrifice a creature or something like that. So I'll take this here. Not a fantastic card. Thallid Omnivore is the best card in this pack. It goes in the, green-black Thallid deck, which is pretty good. But, yeah, we'll just take this here to go with our red cards. Okay, so Tolarian Scholar wheels, not many of the white cards wheel out of that first pack with a bunch of good white cards. That's worth noting. This Sergeant at Arms is an okay card, perfectly fine. 2/3, kick it, get 2 1/1s. But I'm just going to take another Wizard. It's funny, this is a card that looks really unplayable by today's standards, but totally fine in this format. I guess not an actively great one, but one that I'm fine with playing. And I guess if I'm fine with playing the first, I should be fine playing the second. No, I'll take this, but I'm not super excited. Everything else here is not very good, though, or at least not for us. This Corrosive Druid can be okay. Artifice Resistant, not particularly good. It just doesn't really, there's no ninjutsu. There's nothing that rewards you for having a cheap evasive creature. So I'm just going to take the second Scholar. And Radiant Lightning's an okay card. Not a awesome one, but it's a spell. It deals a lot of damage. It also cleans up the Thallid deck. They have a bunch of 1/1s lying around. So a good sideboard card for sure. We're playing best of one, so it doesn't really matter. But I might end up maining this card. I've made it before. I've made it before, and I'll do it again. You got a Seismic Shift. Okay, so, maybe there is, a super all-in mono-red strategy available in this format. And this is a card that can be actually fine in that deck. Just kill their land and make it so that they can't block. And so is Cyclops. Yeah, Cyclops is an okay part there, too. So we'll see where we go from here. All right, we open this pack here. So we've got a Karn's Temporal Sundering. This is another one of those legendary sorceries that you need a legend to cast. We currently have no legends. This is a really good one, though. So this is probably the best one, I think. Maybe Jaya's Immolating Inferno is better than the red one, but this one is 6 mana, bounce something, take an extra turn, which is obviously very, very good effect. We're just going to take Wizard's Lightning, though. This card's awesome. It's a 3 mana, deal 3 instant, but if you have a Wizard, which we're probably going to be pretty likely to have, it's 1 mana. It's essentially a Lightning Bolt. Also a Gitu Chronicler, which is not a bad card. It's a 1/3 that you can, on turn 6, you can buy something back. Tetsiova, one of the better uncommons as well. Just this value engine, but super happy with taking the Wizard's Lightning here. To play the legendary sorceries, you really want somewhere in the neighborhood of 3-4 legends at a minimum. If you don't, you just have this thing rotting in your hand a little bit too. Ooh, another Fire Adept. Okay, sweet. Yeah, Fire Fist Adept number 2. That's pretty nice. And also that makes me want to maybe play the second Tolarian Scholar. I'm going to try to be close-ish to mono red if we can. Not, I don't feel very strongly about it. I'm not gotta play mono red at all costs. This isn't like Kamigawa where I'm like, oh, if you add another color to your red deck, it gets a lot worse. It's not like that. But maybe maybe it's just sweeter to do a mono red deck instead of, a very basic and boring 2-color deck. Oh, wow. Okay, Fire with Fire. This is very exciting. So this is Mythic Uncommon. This is very much like Kamigawa, actually, now that I think about it, where the uncommons in the set are so much better than the commons. And this is one of the absolute best of the best, top 3 or something. So it's 3 mana for a deal 5. That's already good. 9 mana, kick it, deal 10, which basically just wins the game. 10 divided, mind you, so it can wipe their board or go to the face. And you would think, oh man, 9 mana is a lot. It is, but games do tend to kind of bog down in this format. You can get to 9 mana and not, it's not that hard. So you kick this more often than you might expect. Also, Blink of an Eye, best common. This card's really, really good. It's really just into the Royal if you played Zendikar, but we're thrilled with this Fight with Fire. And we get a Gitu Chronicler, which is a pretty good card. I think I'm going to take this here. It's another Wizard, cheap Wizard for our Adept. It also is a card that buys back our Fight with Fire, and that's pretty nice because what you can do is, cast this early. You don't feel bad about wasting, quote-unquote, wasting your removal spell. And then once you get to 6 mana, you're like, okay, buy it back, and then you have ambitions of casting it or kicking it for the 9-man mode. So we'll take that here. It's pretty nice. Kelvin Raider, also a pretty good card. Wouldn't mind picking up this on the wheel if we can, but doubt we get a good card on the wheel here. That's another thing about this this set. Dominaria, you are thrilled if you wheel something. Like, if you wheel something, you should, that you wanted out of an early pack, go buy a lottery ticket, because like, there's just not a lot of, it's just, the packs are full of junk, right? Like, stuff like Demonic Vigor, Healing Grace, Voltaic Servant, which isn't unplayable by any means, but it's not a great card. There is a Flame of Keld, which, if we are moving towards like actual mono red, gets interesting. I'm just gonna take this Warlord's Fury though. It's a cheap spell. We don't have anything that wants spells currently, but there's a few cards that we could pick up that do want that, and I'll be happy if I have pick up those when we have this card. Okay, so this pack is kind of stinky. There's Slim Voda, which just isn't a good card. It's a big, expensive, kind of do nothing here. There is some good black cards. I could maybe consider taking those, but I think I'm just gonna take the second Rampaging Cyclops here. There's also Voldalia Arcanist, which is a wizard, but we're leaning a lot more closer to like an aggressive wizard deck, not really a slow one that wants to draw a bunch of cards. So not really for us. We'll just take the Cyclops. Ooh, okay, so this is one of the cards that I was talking about that is, you really want cheap spells for. So Geeky Lava Runner is one of the best commons in the set for, well, just in general. I think it is the crux of a good base red deck. And for us, it's great, right? We picked up the Warlord's Fury. It's a cheap spell to get in the yard. We have the Opt, so let's just try to move our spells we might play into this playable area. There's also another Opt. I wouldn't mind taking that if this wasn't here, but this is perfect. I'll play as many of these as I can get. Just a one mana 2/2 essentially with haste. Wow, and we pick up a Naban too. Okay, so this is really coming together. Naban is a real sicko. He doubles our Journey Mage, doubles our Fire Fist Adept, doubles our Chronicler, our Journey Mage. Yeah, this is our other Journey Mage. I guess there's two. There's a G2 and an Academy one. But great, that's a great pickup. As is this one too. All right, this is really coming together. We're liking what we're doing, and we could be, like I was saying, very close to actual aggressive mono red, but we can get some blue cards in there too. Like there's good blue cards that support our red cards, like the Journey Mage. Not all the blue cards are controlling. I'll take a Frenzied Rage, although we probably won't play it. Okay, I'll take a Soul Savage. I think it's more likely we play this than the Prospector. Maybe we open a Black Bomb or something. All right, pick up a Assistant. All right, let's actually organize by curve. I know a lot of you are probably yelling me through the screen about my curve currently. I think we can safely say that Wizard Lightning is going to cost 1 in this deck too, which is kind of sick. All right, bomb, boom. Nope, not quite. Oh, actually, yes. I was looking at this slot, which, Percussion Field has its place in like there's like these 15 spell decks you can play, but at least, I'm not passing this. This is one of the best uncommons, and obviously goes perfectly in our deck, so thrilled about that. Maybe we wheel a Run Amok, or another 2-drop, but yeah, sweet. First Eruption. So this is, looks like the other saga that we saw earlier, the Flame of Keld, but it is a different one. Still not going to take this one, not a very good saga. I will take Blink of an Eye, though. This is, like I was saying before, just the best common. Cloud Reader Sphinx, also really, really good, but this is perfect for our, Tempo Shell here. It is double blue, if you really, if you want to kick it, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I think we've got enough blue cards at this point that I don't feel super inclined to be mono red, and I'm fine with Blink of an Eye just being a card that I am willing to put more islands in my deck for. Wow. Getting absolutely hooked up here. Fight with Fire number 2 is insane. Tetsuko is great too. Really, really nice one. Makes all our little things unblockable. Journey Mage would be good too. Religious Mastery is really cool. And honestly, before I started recording this, I was almost hoping I'd open this card because this is like really, really sweet build around. But maybe for a different video. But we'll just, slam this and yeah, go to town. Ooh, this is another great pack. So Time of Ice is awesome. So 4 mana, tap something again, and then you return tap creatures to their owner's hands. Card is great. I will be taking it here. But Merfolk Trickster is also a fantastic card. It's a little bit tough on our mana currently at blue, but 2/2 flash, when it comes in to tap something, and that thing loses all its abilities, so you can tap a flyer post-attack, so they're 2/2 flyer, attacks into your 4/4 or whatever. But we'll just take the Time of Ice. This is the best card here. Another one of the almost Mythic uncommons, not quite Mythic, but it is one of the better ones. All right, this pack has not a ton for us. I think I just take the Fiery Intervention as kind of a medium removal spell. 5 mana, deal 5. There's some artifacts you want to blow up too. Icy Manipulator is in the set. That's something that you often want to kill if you can. There's nothing else I really am interested in. Tiana's okay too, just as a fine first strike flyer, but not for us, not for us. Oh, I got excited for a second because I thought this was another Time of Ice. It is not. It's an Antiquity Zor, which is a cool build around, but we don't have enough artifacts to make it work. So what are we playing? There's Jousting Lance. That could make the deck. I mean, probably not. This is more of a card when you've got a lot of cheap expendables, like a bunch of Saprolinks and stuff. So I doubt it makes it, but I doubt we're playing anything else. Like, there's a Memorial to War. There's this cycle of uncommon lands that, like, sacrifice to do something. Red gets the short end of the stick here. Wow. Okay, well, yeah, like, I'll take a third. Maybe, I don't know if red is just absurdly open in this spot, or people don't know how good this card... I mean, it just reads powerful, so I assume red is just very open, even if people in this pod haven't drafted the set very much, but awesome. You know, I can't complain about that. We'll take another Warlord's Fury over a Keldon Overseer, I think. Actually, maybe not. I mean, at this point, like, we didn't pick up enough of the cards, or many of the cards that want spells. We did pick up Adeliz, so I guess that's enough of a reason to take this over Overseer, which is a fine but overall unexciting card. All right, we got some building to do. Run amok, nice wheel. Yeah, that's pretty sick for us. 3 Fight with Fire sure is something. All right, so let's clean things up as we go here. Maybe we even wheel the other Journey Mage out of that early pack. It's kind of funny, like, red-blue is one of the more aggressive decks in the format, but you look at our deck, and it's just like, it's not that aggressive, right? It's kind of just mid-rangey. It's aggressive leaning for sure. That's a great, yeah, there it is, came back. But, like, look at the 2-drop slot. It's, like, not all that exciting. You can have some really, really low-to-the-ground decks with a bunch of Lava Runners, but, you know, we didn't get that here. Even, like, most of the aggressive leaning cards in this set still lean on the, like, kind of mid-range side. Dominaria is known for being kind of a bit more plodding, a bit slower. And, yeah, just the 2-drop slot is usually not very exciting in your deck. All right. Okay, so let's cut some of the fat here. So we cut the 2-3. I said it was fine, but don't think we need it. Cut the Arcanist. Now we're at... We could play 14 lands here because we've got double 1-mana cantrips. It's almost like a cycler. Actually, sorry, with Opt, it's 3. So I think we want to play 14 lands here.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
And that means we can cut a blue source. And what's our last card here? Oh, you know what? We can cut this Fire Intervention. Expensible, clunky removal spell. We don't need that when we have 3 of these. And 2 Chroniclers to buy it back. There's still an argument to playing 17 lands because we do have these 2, which, you know, do want us to get to 6 mana. But I think our curve is low enough otherwise that it's fine. So let's just run this, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, round 1 here. And our opening hand is a nice one. Is a very, very nice one. Just like all of our best cards. All right. Wizard's Lightning, Adeliz. The Pizza Mage. It really just looks like she's just serving a pizza to you. Doesn't it? All right. Okay, so probably just gonna jam the Adeliz here on 3. Alright, opponent does nothing. It's very, very good for us. There's also the thought to playing Journey Mage, because then next turn what we can do is like Adeliz. Oh, maybe that's a bit better. We miss out on 2 points here, but Adeliz next turn as a hasty thing, and then we get a thing out of the way with one of our removal spells. Yeah, that's actually probably a little bit better. I mean, I guess it's sort of same difference. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah, they play a 2 toughness creature. Adeliz. We say, sorry, opponent. And they say Dominaria is slow, eh? They say Dominaria is slow. Boom, getcha. Okay. A mountain has appeared. Another trapper. Yeah, I think we'll be having none of that. So we're just gonna fight with fire that because the Wizard's Lightning does go to face. And actually, do we have them dead here? Yeah, we put them to 1 here, right? So it's like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we only put them to 1, so I think it's not worth it. But holy crap, that is so close. Maybe there was a lethal line, actually. So if I just run amok instead, they block, I run amok, they get dealt 3. Yeah, I actually shouldn't have even cast my removal spell, right? I should have just cast run amok and Wizard's Lightning. Oh well. I didn't win the right way. I won in a less optimal way than I could have, unfortunately. All right, round 2. Hopefully it's like just as long as round 1. That was the perfect amount of time for a game of Magic, in my opinion. All right, double Warlord's Fury is not fantastic, but cheap interaction. We're gonna keep this, and we'll just cycle this. We want to get to our good stuff here. Ooh, that's some good stuff. It's funny too, because like with the Adelaide wants you to have this on the battlefield to cast, hold your spells to be able to cast, but the Lava Runner just wants you to cast spells, so we can just cast them at will, or we feel a little bit less bad about casting them. All right, they play Knight Malice, which is a 2/2 first strike. Gonna give us some trouble, I would say. So let's just boop. And I chose not to cast the Warlord's Fury this turn because I do think now with the Adelies we can hold the second one. Have a nice turn in the future. Howling Golem. Ooh, I actually like that for us. So let's get in. Because with all of our cheap removal, this card is actually pretty good. I mean, the opponent could have a lot of cheap removal too, right? But I would like to think that I can break the symmetry better than they can. When both players are just drawing a card each turn, the limiting factor is mana, right? It's not the quality of the card you're casting, it's the cost of it. I'm gonna kill it. All right, fair enough. Adley's down. I'm gonna cast another Knight of Malice. All right, good beats. Not the best draw here, so I might just want to kill this Howling Golem now that like our hand is reloaded. They have 3 cards in hand. It might just be worth it to do that, or we could actually blink this. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So let's try that. We're gonna draw a card. We're gonna blink this, and then we'll see where we go from there. Ooh, Time of Ice? That's a good one, too. That's another tempo positive one that makes the Howling Golem a bit worse for them. Alright, there's our Lava Runner. Alright, baby. Ooh, they're tapping in a specific way. Okay, maybe they have Syncopate up here? Nope. Let's cast one of those. Okay, so we get to... Ooh, that's good. Let's cast the Lava Runner. Yep. Let's get in. We'll cast Run Amok if they block. Boom. And there's a chance that I should just Wizard's Lightning this thing. I think I'm going to, because I can just get it back next turn. And I don't need to take any additional damage here. Divination, classic Divination. Actually really good in this format. It's funny, like, this is a kind of a relic of the past card. The card has been a bit power crept in the sense that, yeah, Divination usually isn't super great anymore. But it is pretty good in this set when you want to hit your land drops. Okay, so I'm just going to kick this Gitu Chronicler. There's a chance they could have, like, a counterspell here. Actually, what if I just Fight with Fire plus Skittering Surveyor? Is that a little bit better? Because now I don't mind just getting back the Fight with Fire, right? And we also get it for 2 points. Let's try that. This also plays around Syncopate. Okay. Let's get in. Yeah, and now you can see, once we get them down to 10, like, unless they have a counterspell, which, mind you, there are quite a few counterspells in this format that are playable. They're going to have some problems on their hands. Or we just go, Chronicler, get back the Bolt next turn. That works too. Weight of Memory. Ooh, give us more options, why don't you? All right, they drew 3. And we're going to go get in there. And yeah, now it's actually interesting. I think I still... Bolt or Fight with Fire? So, like, we're at 8 lands, and we only need 1 more. I'm going to take the Fight with Fire, yeah. Because it also just, like, kills more stuff, which maybe isn't that big of a problem, considering we have the Time of Ice. Like, they play a blocker, we just Time of Ice. But we can dream big here. Opponent splashing white. I wonder what that could be for. There's, like, a million things. Could just be, like, a removal spell. Could be... there's not that many white rares you would splash in this. Oh, Teferi. Teferi's one. Hero of Dominaria. 5 mana Teferi. Ooh, that's painful. Yeah, having to eviscerate my 1/1. Or my 1 mana card. Alright. That was a good draw here. So let us... Yeah, let's just do this. Could also be for Wrath Capuchin, too. It's a 3/3 Flash Flyer. which means that they'll be able to eat one of our creatures here if that's what it is. But if that's what it is, we're like, all right, sure. Yeah, it is Raph. Okay, no prob. Yeah, no problem at all, because now they are just dead to fight with fire unless they have a land or life gain. They could have life gain too, or counterspell. Did I say counterspell land or counterspell? I don't know what I said. I meant to say if they don't have a counterspell, they're dead. Ooh, double white. Okay, so I don't think that points in the direction of anything else. Like they might just have 2 planes in their deck. Ooh, okay, okay. That's maybe a reason to kill the Raph. I'll give him that. I'll give my opponent that. Yeah, okay. Can they do anything else with their turn? They cast a Drake. All right, all right. No, they're still dead if they don't have anything. Okay. It's funny. My ninja sense went off. I'm like, oh, they could have a ninja here. That's not... And by the way, if you haven't played a set with ninjas before, you're going to be experiencing that for the next few sets. Even though there's no ninjas, there's a little bit of your heart that goes, uh-oh, what if they have a ninja? Every time the opponent attacks. All right, I mean, so if they have a counterspell here, they don't know I have the land, right? Like, they're kind of at the mercy of if we have the land drop. So, if they do counterspell, what's the worst that happens? They counter my fight with fire, they hit me down to 3, and then I can just time of ice the Raph so I don't die next turn. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think it's worth going for here. They didn't have a counterspell before, so... Ooh, boom. 10 to phase, baby. And they got to flash in the Bolus's clutches, so it's good. It's good we went for it that turn, because it would have been a disaster if we waited. Also, really interesting line from the opponent, or for the opponent. They can actually target my land in that spot. So I wonder if it's right for them to take my land so I can't cast the Fight with Fire, because they know it's in my hand from the rebuy. Anyways, on to the next one. All right, round 3. Let's go. See if we can aggro out some more Dirtlers. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, I'll tug at the collar there on this hand. So, if I had, like, a red source, this is a great hand. We're pretty heavy on red. We're on the play, though. It's a really solid hand with just one red source. Yeah, I mean, I think you could mulligan this or not. I know a lot of people would just snap mulligan this, and I think I would not lambast you if you did, but I will. You know what? I'm gonna mull. I was almost there. I was almost there, but I think our deck is just good enough that I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk a bad mana situation. All right, now let's just keep this worse 4 or worse 6, I would say, but still fine. Again, we're just in the position if we draw red, we're in a pretty good spot. Ooh, Llanowar Elves? That's a scary one. All right, there we go. Yeah, let's put this out. Means that this deals some damage. You don't know, separate. Also, this blocks their 1/1s. They're bound to have. Ooh, Adelies? Okay, it's a good one. Let's just jam our Journey Mage here. I guess this starts to get in. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's kind of similar, except this blocks, but this blocks anyways. And if they're just mono green, there is a green fight spell, but it's not very good. Like, it's an actual fight, not a bite. And it puts a counter on something if the thing they control is legendary. Which, you know, happens, but it's not particularly common. All right, they go get a black source. So they're black-green Saproings. And we draw a land. Okay, so we could Journey Mage to bounce a 1/1. I think I'm not into that. Journey Mage to bounce a Llanowar Elf is kind of interesting, too. But I'll just do this. Ooh, Mammoth Spider. All right, I'm glad I saved my Journey Mage, because that is one I definitely want to bounce. Mammoth Spider is kind of a pain. It just blocks everything in this format, like actually everything. Aside from like rares. What is this? Okay, so they're human about black. That probably means they have fungal infection. Yeah, this attack definitely means they have fungal infection. Ooh, hi. How's it going? Yeah, that's a really good draw, because that pumps our team and kills the Mammoth Spider. All right. Now, we still don't have amazing attacks into infection, but good enough, right? Like, what happens? They can, like, fungal infection one of these. By the way, fungal infection is a 1-mana trick. -1 to something, they make a Saproling. I think we still have good enough attacks that we should just jam. Oh, maybe they just don't have that. All right, fair enough. Wow. Sure, they were so deflated they didn't even want to try to block. All right, fair enough. All right, and we get to Diamond too. It's a nice little there's some good games, I will say so far. Some good games. Some games that are my tempo, you know? Sometimes this format you can really get bogged down because they're like, the games go to decking. Sometimes you got like green-black versus black-blue, and everybody's like drawn their deck, and everybody, you know, on turn 20, the people are both still at 15. But I like these kind of games of Dominaria. All right, round 4 against Kosher Funk, who's a good player. I know this player. Ooh. Okay. Okay. It's a good hand. Lava Runner, here you go. We even have the spells to grow it at instant speed. Ooh, and they don't play anything. Love to see it. That's another thing, too, that one of the reasons these aggro decks can really get under these, you know, blue-green mid-range decks is that the 2-drops really suck in this format. So often what happens is people just don't play them. And, you know, that means that if their first turn is on, or first play is on turn 3, then you're kind of enjoying, or you're kind of living. All right. Let's cast Fury, because that means if we opt, we can grow the Lava Runner in combat. They might even block. Yep, they do. Got him. Got him. All right, Journey Mage is a good draw too. We can bounce to the next thing. Crab. All right. Mill us? Yeah, okay. All our spells. So much action they milled. All right, boom. So this Homered Explorer, it's kind of a deck where you can have, like, it's a pretty decent win condition. If you have a deck that just really slows down the game, you just play this and you bounce it a bunch. All right, they have their own Journey Mage, which is annoying. Annoying for sure. Now we just go bash. Play this. Play the Goblin. Oops. Hopefully next time we just get to fight with fire, whatever they play here, and wreck them. Okay, okay. That one was only half action. Very lucky. Untamed Kavu. Okay, so this is a 2/2 that they can kick it, and it's a 5/5. What if I just do that if I'm my opponent there? Just kick it. All right. It's a better blocker. I mean, if they have, we would have gotten, or they would have gotten, of course, because we have Fight with Fire. But yep. All right. And what's on our deck left? 2 more Fight with Fires. That's right. Okay. I forgot about those. Journey Mage. Okay, it's annoying. They bounced our Bloodstone Goblin. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm sorry, opponent. Like, sorry, not sorry, you know? Alright. And that should do it. I don't think there's field wipes in these colors. It's no, like, Red Wrath or anything. Divination. Alright. Well, some fast games. Some fast games. I'm enjoying this. Alright, 5th round here. We're 4-0. It's a pretty good hand. Well, it's not amazing, but we have the fire early. We can buy it back, and I guess double Fire Fist of Death. I can't complain about that. We haven't drawn these actually now that I think about it, so let's see if we can get some Flame Tongue action going on here. Ooh, Blood Tallow Candle. Okay. Ooh, right on time, Lava Runner. Right on time. So this is a 1-mana artifact that can sack, pay 6, give something -5, -5, which is not particularly inspiring. I think we're just going to Shivan Fire this thing. Yep. It's pretty annoying for all our 2-power creatures. Yeah, it's not a good card, but it's one that you will play in your decks in this format. Like, that's, I was talking about the playable counts being pretty low. It's a pretty good example of, this is just kind of the kind of card you have to play. Alright, they're missing a land drop. They do get to untap their Servant here as a blocker. But I felt it was worth trying to see if I can get that attack. So I'm going to play out this Chronicler here. This means that the Fire Fist Adept. Actually, I could still just not. Yeah, actually, let's not. Because we have the mana to buy this back. And we can do the same play we did this turn, right? Where we attack. We try to get them to block here. And then we can finish off with 2 points. Alright, there. Got a lot of really cheap artifacts. Is that better? Yes, because we get in for a point now, and then we can just adept this thing next turn. Alright, hit their 3rd land. Yeah, and now we're just going to have, like, Flame Tongue Kavu into Flame Tongue Kavu. By the way, for those maybe who don't know what Flame Tongue Kavu is, I've kept saying that when I've referenced this card, but it was the original creature that did this. It's a creature, red creature comes in, kills another creature. All right, yeah, let's just get in there. This can't go to face, so blink. That's not one you really feel good about blinking. They probably just have a large creature that won't get gotten by this next turn. All right, get back the Driven Fire. It's double red, unfortunately, for this kicker, so we can't leave this up. Eldest Reborn. All right, that's a good card. It's a good card. I was saying not all the sagas are good, but this one's good. It's somebody, you sack something, I discard a card, then they reanimate something from any grave. So I've got, I'm almost at 9 mana for this. Let's bash. They're gonna make me discard a card. I'm just gonna play this out. And probably discard the Shivan Fire. Alright, 6 mana, so they can kill one of our things here, and they're gonna have to stay alive. Ooh, never mind. Bolus's Clutches? Oh. Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. Sometimes it do be like that. And the other Fight with Fire. Alright, sick. I was saying, and Bolus's Clutch is a really, really good card, but it does happen to get really punished by the best common in the set. Alright. So they're going to animate a Lava Runner. Look at this hand. Look at this beautiful, beautiful hand of red cards. I remember when this set was around, the common knowledge, or the consensus of sorts, was that red was the worst color. Maybe it was white, actually. Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, let's just do this. And like I was saying before, me being a player of culture, of course, did not feel that way about my lovely red decks. All right, let's see. All right, and that is it. That is it. To expand on that a little bit, I do think the value decks, like the blue-black and the, green-black, I think is actually a little bit overrated, to be honest. But the value decks that went a bit longer, maybe white-blue, are good decks, don't get me wrong. But just like, if it's kind of like Kamigawa, right? Where if you get a table where people just aren't valuing the red cards, you can have just like a really good deck like ours. Round 6. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Yep. Solid. Let's keep this. Again, nice little combo with the Chronicler and the Chronicler, any good spell, I guess. All right, again, opponent not playing a 2-drop. Although there are some pretty good things, like pretty good 3-drops that stabilize. They could play the Yavimaya Sapherd, the 2/2 that makes the 1/1. But I imagine they might not have that if they are using Vicious Offering there. Adley's right on time. Get in there, my friend. Ooh, nothing? Alright. I like that. These games have just been, like, the smoothest of smooth sailings. Like, we've had not even a hiccup. I guess there was a round, maybe. But just been great. And, whoops. What say you, opponent? Okay. You always have Bolt Snap Bolt here as well. The opponent plays Yargle. Well, Yargle is a cool card with a lot of flavor text, but it does not match up that well against a Lightning Bolt. All right, well, this might just be the fastest draft video I've ever done, honestly. It's funny, there's some comments in the comment section in one of my earlier videos. They're saying, oh, you know, it would be cool if there's a way to like kind of disguise how the deck did. But, you know, if you look at the length of the video, you can kind of go, oh, you know, Alex only played for 45 minutes or an hour, must have not done very well. But I guess this deck kind of disguises that, right? All right, let's see if we can get the perfect run here. Just gonna send him no. Okay, yeah, it's got good cards. Missing some lands, but those will come. I've done like, I don't know, I think 5, 6, 7 of these flashback decks or drafts at this point. And while our deck is really, really good, I'm not surprised. Often these flashback drafts tend to have, you know, I'd say half and half people that are, you have drafted the format before, know what's going on, and half people are just like, well, let's just see what this, you know, Dominaria is all about. So you do get past some pretty good cards sometimes. You wheel some interesting things. All right, we're just gonna play out the Journey Mage here. They might have a -2, -2. Nope. Maybe a combat trick. An Adamant Will or something. If we just go land here, we're in business. Okay, they don't do anything. Kind of says to me I think there's a deal 4 or destroy an attacking creature in this format. So it might be that. I don't think I'm going to try to play around that. Ooh, earn a bond. Yeah, I'm just gonna bash. It's not a huge deal. Oh, fungal infection. Okay, fair enough. I could have not cast my Fury there. What just happened? Oh, that I didn't even. If this was paper, I would have binned my creature for sure. I don't think they realized that this wasn't gonna die because I didn't either. They just jumped, and now we have Naban safe and sound. That's so funny. That's great. This card is very, very good at ambushing X2s, I will say, but not when they have first strike. Oh, a Baird. That's a good creature. So this is or at least against my deck. It's a 4-mana 2/4 Vigi, and it casts, you know, it has the kind of, what's it called, Ghostly Prison ability. Anyways, so I started blasting. We're going to bounce you, and we get to do it twice even. Oh, man. Can we draw a land next turn? All right. Land? Good enough. I'll take it. I'll take that. There is a Wrath in white, but it requires them to have a legendary creature on the battlefield, which they currently don't. They divest me. All right. You can see what's going on, opponent. Not going to like it, I don't think. I don't think you're going to like what you see. All right, they take the Adept. And they cast a Sanctum Spirit. Okay. That's like minorly annoying. So you can discard a historic card to give it indestructible. So you can like put them to the test here, see if they have an indestructible or a historic card in hand. Let's see what we draw though. There's no need to do this before we untap, I don't think. Oh, that's really nice. So now they have to have 2. And if they don't, they lose. In response, we bolt. Double Whisper. Okay. I could have also gone for the attack. Then they go make indestructible. And then we do that same thing. Oh, no, I couldn't because this one's a sorcery. But guy is Protector. Right, not exactly a card I'm scared of here. It does have to be blocked. But also the Naban doubles our Chronicler, which is kind of sick. Yeah. So let's just... I'm so sorry, opponent. Again, sorry, but not really sorry. All right, we're going to get in here. They block the Journey Mage probably, or the other Journey Mage. Yep. All right, here you go. Minor Scouts. It's a blocker. All right, and that's it. Perfect run, everybody. Perfect run. All right, well, let's do a little debrief here. Okay, so what was awesome about this deck? Well, obviously it was like the exact right lane. We got a super late Nabon. We got Fight with Fire X3. We got Adeliz. We just got like all the parts for this deck. I would have liked a few more Lava Runners if I'm being, very, very picky, but really can't complain. This, I hope, is a good example of how to draft for Wizards. Maybe not the best example of the average Dominaria draft. Usually those are a little bit slower plotting, but yeah, just an example of what can happen. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this 670. And yeah, as always, check out the links in the description to the Patreon if you enjoy what's going on here, to the stream. You can catch me on weekdays 3 to 7 EST, and to there's another thing in there. What is it? To the podcast. That's it. Limited Level Ups podcast. That's all. Thanks so much for hanging out, and leave a comment if you liked it. All right, see you, everybody.